is up to the transparency? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in, guys. We have a story straight from Ohio right here, Columbus. I'm going to JLR this. Yes, I'm going to go to the home. Going to stand outside. Going to talk to the family. Again, congratulations. I meant to email some people about becoming mods. Usually right before the first of the year, people that display to the transparency qualities, we take note, and earning a wrench here is very, very hard. So congratulations to Mrs. Kelly and Heather One Dimple and Heather Scorpio. Not sure if Heather Scorpio is in chat, but also condolences to Heather. Thinking about you and your family. And so love you, girl. All right, let's check it out. This is insane. How would you feel? You're a parent and your 13-year-old son has text messages on their cellular device with their teacher and asking him if you've deleted messages and videos. 13. Here we go. Check it out.
Is now accused of sexually abusing a 13-year-old boy she was supposed to counsel. The woman was arrested just days ago on her 24th birthday.
This woman's gone. She's going down. She's going to prison. Absolutely. It doesn't get any stronger than that. There's video evidence and there's a recording. Yeah, that woman's in big trouble.
Officials say Payton Shires was arrested on October 6th in Franklin County, Ohio. This after the 13-year-old boy's mother approached Columbus police, saying she saw messages from Shires to her son. In the messages, Shires allegedly asked the boy whether his mother had seen any photos or videos or if they'd been deleted. Police later took a closer look at the boy's phone and allegedly found videos of Shires having intercourse with the boy and various other sex acts. Shires, who just received her social worker license this past summer, had been assigned the 13-year-old boy as a client while working for the National Youth Advocate Program. Trial attorney Lynn Cadigan has spent the past 38 years representing sexual assault survivors. She says cases like these often stem from a power dynamic between adults and children.
Kids go to school, and teachers and guidance counselors and therapists and priests are the next level of adults that they're close to. So these adults, such as this counselor, has enormous power over this child because they encourage this child. You can tell me your deepest, darkest secrets. Tell me why you're mad at your mother. Tell me, do you believe in God? They encourage the child to open up to them. So the child opens up to them, and then they absolutely violate that trust by using them sexually. I mean, that causes huge damage to the child. The child may not know it now. Frequently, these kids, this 13-year-old, one who's 15, they think they're still in love with the teacher or the guidance counselor or the social worker. It isn't until many years later that they realize that they were betrayed, that they were used, and they have a very difficult time establishing a proper relationship later in life.
When speaking with the 13-year-old victim in this case, police learned of at least 2 instances when he had sex with Shires. Later, Shires admitted to the sexual assault while on the phone with the boy's mother. Police listened in on that call, and Shires was later arrested. She now faces charges of unlawful sexual.
All right, let me try that again. Let me tell you how Franklin County Columbus Police Department handled this situation. They did a 3-way phone call between the police department, the mother, and they called the teacher. They then sat on the other side of the phone conversation. In Ohio, nobody has, just as long as one party knows that something's being recorded, it's fair game. So again, the police, when she went to the police, the way that they set this up is here, we're going to have you call her because we're going to get her to admit what she did. And so they had the police do this 3-way call with the mother, with her. And again, this is right in my backyard, and I want to cover it. I'm gonna tell you why I want to cover this. Well, this is fucking crazy, right? These are allegations that I have a son, and I want to cover this because I want to know how this woman got a job. There's a lot of things I want to know about it. But as a parent, how would you react to going through your son's phone at the age of 13 and finding this? Hey, did you delete those videos? Hey, does your mom know? Like stuff like that. Anyways, but super curious, I say everything's like alleged and everything like that. So let's just make sure everything's on the up and up with how this went down. And so I'm going to go on out to where she lives, where she works. We're going to do it JLR style tomorrow morning. Come on. I got my damn dash cam ready. We're going to go. We're going to see if we can get some backdoor information. But yeah, we're going to go media it out. But this was a wild, like WTF. This woman just got licensed, just started doing this.
Contact with a minor. Cadigan says the relationship likely started off slowly before escalating into something illegal.
It goes inch by inch, bit by bit. It goes, tell me what you think about sexually. Tell me what you think about this. A hand on the knee, touching the hair. The kid gets confused and mistakes all these grooming as the kid believes I'm special. This person loves me. I share everything with this person. So then little bit by little bit, they break down all the physical normal barriers. It goes from touching to a kiss to all sorts of things. And before they know it, the child is enmeshed in a sexual relationship, the first that they've ever had. And these children really don't even know what that is. So it's very easy to trick them in a gradual step-by-step grooming process.
She hypothesizes Shires herself could have been the victim of sexual assault in the past.
I think sometimes these crimes are crimes of power and crimes of these perpetrators, these teachers not knowing boundaries. Intellectually they know boundaries. They've all had classes on don't groom, don't do this. But
wait, excuse me? Wait, what? Wait, what? I gotta hear that again.
Perpetrators, these teachers not knowing boundaries. Intellectually they know boundaries.
Wait a second. You're telling me that a teacher does not know physical boundaries, that you cannot have sex with your students? I mean, I cannot believe that this woman is even saying this. Intellectually they know that they have boundaries. Excuse me? I would think that you would know physically the boundaries before you would even know the psychological and emotional boundaries. Like, wait, what? Who? Wow. I just really don't even have anything to say to that comment.
All had classes on don't groom, don't do this. But I think that they blur their own boundaries, and perhaps they've been victims themselves of sex abuse because they're blurring the boundary between caring for the child and having sex with the child. And that is typically a sign of someone who's been abused themselves.
As a licensed counselor, Cadigan says Shires knew all too well the signs of grooming. Even so, she allegedly moved forward with the sexual assault.
People in these positions of power, such as priests, and particularly social workers and counselors, they absolutely know, and they've been absolutely trained, and they pass tests saying how to protect children against this very thing. So the fact that this counselor went ahead and brazenly molested this child, she knew full well it was wrong, she knew the risks, and she was compelled to do it anyway, which makes me believe maybe she had been molested, because why would you risk everything doing something you absolutely know is...
We ask ourselves that all the time when we talk about criminals. Why would you risk whatever? I did see Heather Scorpio in the chat and wanted to say hi, and did she know that she was crowned homecoming queen? Well, 1/10 of homecoming queen here. We have a big court here at TNT. But see, did she know yet? Did she find out? Did she get it? Oh, this should make everybody super, super upset. Again, this was the introduction
Was wrong.
to this case.
Absolutely is
Definitely
evil
gonna
and absolutely causes damage, and will send you to prison. It's
right now. Payton does not have. I'm pulling up her stuff. A lawyer, so I'm guessing she's going maybe a public defender, but I'm gonna jump in on and get on that call log.
shows you that when kids are molested, particularly younger ages, they could become compulsive molesters themselves, which is why it's so important to stop it in its tracks and not let these people do this.
Cadigan also says lines may have been blurred between the sexual interactions and love. She suggests the 13-year-old may have been in love with Shires, and that Shires, too, could have believed she was in love with the boy.
Sadly, I think they do. Sadly, I think frequently, and more frequently than not, for example, this particular woman may have been sexually abused herself. So she connects to someone who was the same age she was when she was abused. They really have, mentally and emotionally, they have a very hard time thinking there's anything wrong with it. They think it's true love.
I mean, such a pretty girl. I'm sure she can find somebody her own age. Curious her story. Yes, she just is a counselor, and I'm gonna get into more of the, where she was working is a place for foster kids and stuff like that. We'll get into that background. Like I said, we're gonna go take a field trip.
Showing sex. They've been sexualized themselves to confuse love and respect is the same thing as sex. It's shocking, but intellectually they know it's not right. Intellectually, they can take a little test and say, don't groom children, don't have sex. But emotionally, and they're very susceptible to their own impulses.
Cadigan says there also may be an explanation for why Shires' sexual interactions with the boy were recorded on video.
Well, I'm not a psychologist, but for all the hundreds of perpetrators I've known, many of them are what's commonly called they're sex addicts. They're absolutely obsessed with this kind of sex, with pornography, and with videoing. And it's like an alcoholic, a drug addict, or any other kind of addict. They'll do anything to hide, steal, and get what they need, that dopamine rush. And it's that's why they have training. That's why they have.
But she's not answered the question, like, why would this be recorded? Why would you record this? How did you record this? Would you set up like a tripod? This is unbelievable.
Because if you see something, say something.
But with those recordings on top of Shires' alleged confession, Cadigan believes the prosecution has a strong case.
This woman's gone. She's going down. She's going to prison. Absolutely. It doesn't get any stronger than that. There's video evidence and there's a recording. Yeah, that woman's in big trouble. I always am completely amazed at how many people have no idea that you can get text messages, emails. Nothing ever dies on the internet. Nothing.
Oh, there's a boy.
But they still do it. It's,
oh my gosh, you have a baby?
People do stupid things. I don't know. I mean, they're compelled. They're addicts. They can't stop.
With all that evidence, Cadigan theorizes that Shires may take a plea deal.
There's video evidence and tape recording evidence. They're going to tell her, the prosecutor's going to tell her, you take a plea deal or we'll put you away for a number of years. So she'll probably, there was a similar case here where a guidance counselor did something similar, and she ended up going to prison, I believe, for a year, and then probation as a sex offender for years afterwards. She was lucky to get that. She jumped on it. That may happen in this case.
More lawsuits could be on the way if Shires' employer, the National Youth Advocate Program, was notified about the interactions.
Certainly, there could be a lawsuit against her employer.
That's what I'm interested in.
If they had
I wanted to look in. So as I was saying, where she was actually working is an interesting place around here. And I was told that there was notification. And so I'm curious to see when people were talking and to say possibly seeing like inappropriate, handlings in public or something like that. But we're going to get the facts. And that's what we'll be covering tomorrow. This case here, like I said, it's right in my backyard. She's not my neighbor, don't worry.
And she had a propensity to be dangerous with children. it varies from state to
I mean,
state.
I
but
think is that
generally,
her baby?
You can't sue a state or a governmental entity for a crime unless they have notice of the propensity. For example, you doing this interview could suddenly go bonkers and shoot your cameraman. Would your employer be liable for that? Only if they had reason to know
Who is this woman? This is the
that you were a
weirdest interview I've ever heard and seen. I'm sorry, but this is crazy. But she's been doing it for 38 years.
gun nut and we're threatening them. It's that kind of notice that their employer would have to have.
Law and Crime Network reached out to NYAP for comment on Shires' arrest. They responded in part, quote, "Protecting children is everyone's responsibility. The National Youth Advocate Program, NYAP, is saddened by the situation involving one of our former employees and a young person served by our organization." The statement went on to say the organization is cooperating with law enforcement. But this isn't the first time in recent weeks we've seen a case of this nature. As Law and Crime Network reported, 38-year-old teacher Alyssa McCommon of Tennessee was arrested twice last month after allegedly raping one of her 12-year-old former students.
What?
Prosecutors now say she's pregnant with a boy's child. Cadigan says she's seen an uptick in cases like these in recent years.
I think it being reported has become increasingly higher in numbers. I've been surprised to have a number of these cases reported more frequently. I think that people are becoming aware that it is a crime.
What
it doesn't
the
matter
heck?
if the perpetrator or predator is a
Wait.
female as opposed to a male.
Wait a second. She was arrested twice in the same month?
Of this nature. As Law and Crime Network reported, 38-year-old teacher Alyssa McCommon of Tennessee was arrested twice last month after allegedly raping one of her 12-year-old former students. Prosecutors now say she's pregnant with a boy's child. Cadigan says she's seen an uptick in cases like these in recent years.
I think it being reported has become increasingly higher in numbers. I've been surprised to have a number of these cases reported more frequently. I think that people are becoming aware that it is a crime. It doesn't matter if the perpetrator or predator is a female as opposed to a male. In the past,
So she was arrested, and at some point, because I want to look into that, at some point she was arrested again for raping a 12-year-old boy. Jesus. That's just Jesus. Help our world, man. Help our children. What is going
I
on?
think that people always considered the male to be the predator, even if he's, say, for example, 13 in this case, and the woman's always the victim. I'm sure you're familiar with people who say, a lot of people joke and think it would be so cool to have sex with their teacher if the teacher was a woman and the victim was a man. There's always this power differential in how people see the sexuality of men and women.
After her arraignment on Saturday, Shires' bond was set at $500,000. She's due back in court on October 16th.
We'll be there. We will be there October 16th. Right? I went ahead and make sure I got my ticker on. Yeah, Monday. Wow. Okay, guys. So yeah, I believe that's where it's going. This is just a kind of crazy wild, but I want more background on it. I think that covering this a little bit, this isn't really usually a case that I would cover. But like I said, it is my backyard. I do have a younger son, and I have nieces and nephews, and this is just wait, what? I'm curious how she got hired. I'm curious if any of that stuff's going to be released. That's HIPAA. I doubt that it would be her employer, with the school. I'm very curious to see what comes out. And I'm very curious to see, it looks like she has a baby. Let's get some information about her. Let's see what happened here. 24 years old. She lives in Mount Sterling, which is right by Deer Creek. That's where actually we go to like boat and jet ski. And so obviously she's right down here at the Franklin County jail, but in county here, but Mount Sterling is like I call it the country. So it's about 20, 25 minutes away from here. So we're gonna go check it out. It's like an area that the Chad, the dad that killed his sons. It's like an area like that. It's like I said, I call it like a rural area, but country, the country part of Columbus, I guess you could say. But let's find out like what's going on, because maybe she should have never been in the position that she was, and there's always a chance that, you know, what's being said. I mean, you were innocent until proven guilty. So let's see what's going on. But like I said, just right here in the backyard. Yes, these are two different cases. 100% they are. One's in Tennessee, one's in Columbus. We are covering the Columbus case, but they went ahead and talked about that Tennessee case. So I went ahead and made my 2 cents right there. I'm not sure who this woman was that was being interviewed. I want to see if they say her name.
An Ohio social worker is now accused of sexually abusing a 13-year-old boy.
I'm going to see if her boyfriend's going to talk. Like, so we're going to track him down. You guys, like I said, I'm going to do like a JLR tomorrow. I'm going to go out and hunt her down, hunt her family down, hunt her boyfriend down, and see if he wants to cough up anything. Some information, some talk, you know. But I think she has, I don't know if it's a boyfriend or a baby daddy, but it looks like she has a baby. So we'll get some information. Again, this was just going to be a quick live as I wanted to introduce this. Busy, hectic day today. And I'll be live back here at 9. It's Steve Gonsalves makes himself known. He's saying that Howard Bloom is a motherfucking fraud. Basically. Well, what he's really saying is that I've never talked to Howard. Okay. And that he believes that Howard's making money off of his dead family and his family's grief. I don't think that Howard Bloom has ever said that he has talked to Steve. He has made it very perfectly clear, I think, where he is, you know, and who he's talking to, with maybe some quiet sources. But he's kind of making it seem like he talked to the grand juror. So yeah. And it really perked my interest in this whole St. Louis FBI agent. And that there was these really sympathetic other FBI agents that wanted to help. But obviously, Steve and his family have been vocal from the beginning. And if I was in his shoes, I would do whatever I felt that I needed to do. If that was be vocal, if it wasn't, if I felt that law enforcement, what I've noticed is law enforcement has not been transparent. So therefore, yeah, I'm gonna, do what I feel like I need to do for my, my family and my kid. And so you'll never hear me say like, oh, Steve, what the hell are you doing? No, he can make every mistake too. Yeah, he's a dad. He's human. His daughter was murdered. And then someone that he considered a daughter and Maddie was murdered same night, same bed. So I don't know. But I'm curious on the whole, Howard Bloom angle with, Steve saying what he said. Basically saying that what he's saying is not true, more or less. So we'll talk about it. FBI and sympathy. I know that just really doesn't go together. The FBI don't give a fuck. So I think that's interesting. St. Louis, though. Why St. Louis? Who's in St. Louis? Oh, my back. Again, congratulations to all the new mods. Check it out. We'll see you back here this evening at just a couple hours. And I'll be doing Suzanne, Morphew, and Barry Talks. I'll be doing Steve and Howard Bloom with a little sprinkle of something from the past. And then Delphi. So I'm just hitting a couple topics. And then I'm going to leave you guys with a boom in the Jennifer Drake case, Brian Drake case, Dr. Moore case. So They're going to play the 911 call. We're going mainstream media. Let's get that 911 call out there. Let's let people know that the ISP and other law enforcement agencies in Idaho, to include the prosecutor's office, buried information. Critical information that is exculpatory to and for Mr. and Dr. Moore and his family. So we'll see you back here, guys. Be kind to one another. Fucking get your teachers' names, vet them, do whatever you got to do. Hello, Boston. I see you. Bosty, there you go. Love Lana so much. Thank you. 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 No, you guys are real MVPs. You guys are real MVPs. And since today's Tuesday, I'm gonna go have a couple drinks. So feel free to get tipsy with me. My neighbor's making some sick margaritas. They invited me over. I think they just saw this and they were like, you need to come on over. All right, guys, take care. Till next time. Peace. What? There you go. Taco Tuesday. Sure, why not? I don't think I will. You like that? Enjoy. Let's see what this one looks like. I'll be there for some margaritas. Whoop! Welcome to Truth and Transparency. A Home Team Productions. Consider being a member of Fight for a Family at www.fightforafamily.com. Monthly membership donations as well as one-time donations. I am your executive producer, Lana Oriani. The answers aren't always black and white.